Sam, it was a big day for the club, obviously. How much did you enjoy what you saw on the field?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit scrappy early. I was really pleased that the players were able to continue in the right attitude, and they really thought they handled the occasion well. This was a big occasion for the club, and to see the people that were there was quite daunting, to be honest, for all of us. And then to go straight from this huge emotional understanding of 100 years and the weight that carried to then to go and play 10 minutes later, I thought they did a great job. I found it quite difficult on a personal level to get back to it, and then for them to actually physically have to do it as well. I thought we handled the event really well, and I'm really proud of the boys.
Would you find difficult just the fact that you were surrounded by people you know and have known for so long and the history? Or?
Yeah, but there was an emotion to it. I was looking at whether I just spent some time with Shane Crawford there, who was just so pivotal in the early years of my career. David Parkin was there from obviously the generations before, and they're just two of the names but every face I looked at. So it was, prior to the game, you got some of the guys, dippers, saying, "I want to run out there and play," and you got other guys going, "Mitch, stand up." So to go from that environment to then playing an actual game, I thought the players handled it fantastically well. And you get challenged in an AFL environment. You get challenged mentally about the way you play. Sometimes it's because of weather or opposition or momentum, and sometimes it's occasion. And finals are like that. Today, maybe the what was on the field wasn't a final and didn't have that feel about it, but certainly the event of it had that element for us.
There was a huge roar when Clarko's name was read out before the game. How did you feel about him being back in the fold for the...
He's a 4-time premiership coach of the club and hasn't been around for a while, so great that he was able to go out and spend some time with the guys that he coached from Hawthorn. And then on the other side, he's coaching opposition teams, so there's always going to be some complexities around that side of things. But having him, I saw a lot of those older people that have played at different eras of the club spending time together. When they all get together in a group, all the old stories start coming back around, and it was enjoyable to hear them back secondhand for me. But glad there were all those old stories coming back.
You lost Cam McKenzie on Friday. You have Connor Nash out, Will Day out. How proud are you of the midfield for being able to win the clearances and get first hands on the ball?
Yeah, I think we've been quite fortunate, so I'm really, really happy with our medical team and I think they do an enormous amount of work. And medical teams never get any credit. They only get, they only get looked at closely when things aren't going well. So I think our medical and S&C guys have done a great job of keeping our players fit and healthy. And really our unfortunate one with Cam, where he broke his hand. He'll miss next week, but then we hopefully he'll be back after that. But the midfield, I think Henry Huswaite has done a really good job, has come in and performed, at AFL level pretty much straight away. And it's a bit of credit to our Box Hill program, Zane Littlejohn, and the guys who run the program there, that as a whole club, we know it's vital to have depth in your program. And I think the qualities that they're pushing at Box Hill are very similar and similar languages. So when they step up, and we've had other guys step up, whether that's Bailey McDonald or others who have come into the AFL squad, that they're ready, and that's important. And the midfield is probably where we've had to do it, but also defence today.
Speaking of guys coming into the AFL squad, Finn McGuinness and CJ come back in after their week at Box Hill, and both of them do quite well while out there. That must be pleasing for you.
Yeah, I don't think we have any doubt that they're both AFL standard or above players. So I'm not surprised that they perform so well. The selection will continue to be a challenge for us to make sure we keep our best players out there and give ourselves a chance to win every game that we can. I was really, really pleased. CJ obviously got on the end of a lot of footy today, and Finn's regularly a much better player than his statistics suggest, and he creates a lot of run and outnumber. And I think their running power today was really important for the win.
What do you make of the way James Sicily's playing at the moment, Sam? He's obviously a great player, but just some of his ball use is still not quite at the level we've expected.
Yeah, Sis is a captain of the club, and he's a fantastic player. And he started the season. I thought this was the best start of a season that he's had since I've been coach, certainly. And his last couple of weeks, he hasn't been at his best. but I'm far from concerned. He hasn't lost any talent, and he's working hard on his game, and with the best of James Sicily's in front of him, so he'll work hard on his game. I'm not concerned.
Does a player with such good kicking skills and who tries for hard kicks, can it sometimes just desert you in a sense, or you can try too hard?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's tried too hard. I think sometimes you're really in sync with it, and sometimes you try hard to get back in sync. And I think the thing that has made him a great player is that he doesn't shy away from it. He knows he has to continue going for those kicks. He has to continue to go for those marks. There are a lot of players who might shy away from, after an error, they might shy away from the footy, but he doesn't do that. He still continues to want the footy. He's still, I think he still had, low 20s for possession, so he's still an important player for us. And he missed a couple of kicks, but I'm pretty happy with how he's going.
The player said, was it a bit swirly out there, actually, initially? You're disappointed he missed those chances early, perhaps could put more scoreboard pressure on Richmond early, and what did you say, what did you do to break down that zone in the end? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I didn't. I'm not sure if it was swirly. I don't think so. I just think we missed a few. We had a few hard shots early, and we'd like to get from shots from a bit easier positions in our forward 50. But I think, taking any shots that you can get early, in a big game like that, to try and settle the nerves a little bit. I know we missed quite a few in the first period of the game, but as the game worked on, we went through it, and I think there's a bit of mental resilience for the players to know, okay, go back to routine, and if you missed, did I execute my routine? And if you did, then so be it. So goal kicking is something that we work on enormously, so I'm not concerned about it. We're doing the work, so it'll you get what you deserve around goal kicking usually, and so I think we'll be okay.
Did I find it a bit harder to go through the corridor? Richmond were forcing you wide early on.
Yeah, I thought Richmond. I thought they caused us a lot of trouble. I think they probably got a little bit tired. They're obviously very young, and they've got a lot of really talented younger players who, once one or two things go, get away from them, then it ends up in breakdowns. So you could tell what they were trying to do. They really limited our good entries and took a lot of things that we wanted away from us today. So it was a difficult game in the coach's box, and the players, there was a bit of frustration at half time that we couldn't get sort of what we were after. But I thought we stuck at it long enough to wear them down.
You take a bit of heart from the fact that you couldn't get the ball out of your back half in that first quarter, but you still restricted them in scoring.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I think we gave up a lot of front half turnovers in the early part of the game, and I was enormously thankful for Tom Barras. To be fair, he stood up enormously well, and there was a lot of really big key packs that he was able to either mark it, which was obviously the best case scenario, or just really clear the area. So I was enormously thankful that he was back there, to be fair. And then as the game evolved, I thought Josh Battle really came into his own. Him and Josh Weddle, I thought together, just their running power and their one-on-one game was fantastic. So probably it was a day where we held up because of some of the things that we thought could trouble us at different stages, which was consistent back-to-back deep entries. And today we saw some evidence that we've recruited in a way that it doesn't always work. It's not the way we'd like to play, but we are protected from a little bit more by fantastic performances from players who their weapons are built around that type of entry from the opposition.
Jack Dunstan kicks goal 500. He has 5 shots on goal, gives one away to Marby or Chol. What can you say about Jack Dunstan at his age performing the way he is?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. 500 goals for Jack it's a phenomenal. And the amount of times, I think you see how good he is when every draft, who does he play like? Jack Gunston. And I'm like, well, if it's not Jack Gunston, who is it? And there's only a handful of players that can play the role that he does across a generation. And so you look at how many players are, his height, build, who have kicked, a lot of goals and have a position in the team. It's not a usual position that he plays. And I think he's really created something in the game, and he'll go down. He'll at the next version of whatever today was, he'll fit quite comfortably in the group of players that was here today.
What do you make of the melee, Sam? I mean, is that just par for the course?
Oh, I don't know. I might get in trouble for my answer. No one got hurt today. No. Okay, so. I don't want to say. I think you know what I'm getting at.
But was aggression something that was discussed before the game? Like, were we trying to increase the intensity, or was it just something that happened organically?
Oh, not aggression. We did. Well, I don't think I use the word aggression. It's not part of my normal sort of repertoire. I think we always want to be. We want to play tough physical games. That's definitely. I mean, it's a key aspect of AFL footy. It has been for over 100 years. But for Hawthorn, 100 years, the toughest team doesn't always win, but usually does. And so, can you match teams when they really bring it? It's not like the whole game is played that way, but there are always periods of the game where one team just looks a little bit more physical or runs a little bit harder. But I think those elements, when you can match it with opposition in those moments, you know that puts you in a good space. So I thought we were pretty good in that area today.
Let's take one more.
Massimo D'Ambrosio, a fair bit of the ball today. He's been a player that oppositions have sort of sat on. Is it nice to see him be able to get that reward?
Yeah, I mean, the wing is a strange position because you can play exactly the same 2 weeks in a row and you can get 14 possessions one week and 30 the next. And so if you can find yourself a consistent winger, they are worth their weight. And Massimo, I think, him and Harry Morrison, I think, wings quite often are taken for granted. Even as a midfield coach, sometimes you're doing inside mids and you're doing rucks, and sometimes you forget the importance of the wingers. But when you sit back and rewatch a game, quite often the wingers are absolutely vital to the way the game's played. And I think Mass today, he got on the end of a lot more, but I think he's been in really good form. He statistically maybe hasn't been from the outside world, but I've been really pleased with how he's going this season. And sometimes in your second year in a new club, it can be difficult because everything's a bit different in that second year. It's been talked about with second year blues for lots of players before, and I think second year at a new club is tough, and he's doing a great job of being able to back up a All-Australian 40 season last year. Thanks, guys.